Use the approved poses if you want to be a memer. Peace sign, bunny ears, fake wiener.
Yo, what is happening, you insufferable boobs? Galactic Criminal here, and today we got some deathcore out of the Mediterranean island of Malta. I've never heard of these guys before, but they asked if I'd check them out, and I mean, they got Ben on this thing. I feel like he's the kind of guy who wouldn't sign off on a feature if he wasn't vibing with the tune. I'm taking that as a positive indication that this is gonna rip. This single is taken from their upcoming debut album, Fertile Void. With that said, let us dig in. HAINE, Lake. 1, 2. numbers on that one. Yo! Okay. I fucks with it. I fucks with it. Son of a bitch. I have thoughts. Honestly, I kind of feel like I understand why Ben would want to do a feature on this track. It seems very much him, like technical deathcore, death metal style to these guys. I very much appreciated that. The only problem I had was that the melodic guitar riffing was pulled back into the mix too much. I feel like if that had been pulled forward a lot more, especially like I started to hear it toward the end, I feel like that would have been a very cool standout feature for this song, with not necessarily having like an overture of like a symphonic element to it. I feel like that melodic guitar riffing that was like permeated throughout the entire song, I feel like that should have been pulled forward a little bit more because I could hear it and it was cool, but I think it should have like at least like matched with the vocal in the mix. Aside from that, absolutely no problems with this, dude. The fucking like 2-second bass solo was fucking hilarious. It's awesome, but that's why I'm laughing, because you don't hear that very often. I think maybe once or twice I've ever heard them like take a break. It was like Unleash the Archers, I think, had a fucking solid one in that one song. I forget what it's fucking called. But yeah, you don't hear the bass stand out all too often, especially when it comes to like death metal, deathcore. When the bass is doing its job, most of the time you shouldn't really notice. But I like when it stands out. I like when it's like super technical. Like I felt like a lot of this was bass and guitar. Everything else was absolutely solid. The drums were great. I liked the vocals. I do kind of wish that the vocals had a bit more of like a range to it to kind of change things up. But just solid production and everything all together. And of course, the feature on the end of this thing was incredibly cool. I feel like it's one of those features where it's like it was written intentionally just for the original lead vocalist to sing all the way through, and then when they do it live, he will be singing that part. And then they just, for like promotional purposes, they reached out to somebody like Ben and got him to feature on it, to kind of get their name pushed out there a little bit for a debut record. That's what you want to do, right? And for a single coming out, you got Ben's name attached to it. It can only be a good thing. But yeah, his feature was incredible, as obviously it was going to be. And I think Shadow of Intent have something coming up soon. Did I see that they're working on new stuff? Now I can't remember if I'm mixing them up with somebody else. I hope they are, though, at some point soon. That being said, I am interested in hearing some more from this band. Like I said, they have an album coming out. It doesn't say when yet. I don't know that it has a release date, but it will be coming at some point in the near future, I'm guessing. I'd be interested in having a listen. I enjoyed myself. What do the rest of you fuckers think of the shit? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, there'll be a link in the description for this video, so you go and watch it for yourself and scream full audio and get the full experience. And as always, have yourself a fantastic evening.